What's up? I'm Matty Mullins, and this is my favorite interviewer of all time.
Oh, hey, I'm Monica.
And you're watching PITCAM TV.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's do a photo. Hello, how are you doing?
Oi, how's it going?
How was the show? Full force. Did you have fun?
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, you know, we played first, so we didn't know what it was going to be like. The crowd was massive, and, you know, the response was great. We had a few technical difficulties, but nothing that stopped us, you know. It was a good show.
Cool. So we're just going to do a lot of random questions now. First, you want to tell me about the best live show you ever had as a fan?
That's a tough one. Just off the top of my head, when I saw Blindside on the Great Depression tour, there was something about the way that they incorporated their outfits, like as if they were from the Great Depression, and just their like interaction on stage. It just felt so sincere. It was incredible. So, and I mean, you know, Blindside's pretty hard to beat. So that was one of my favorite shows of all time.
Cool. Who do you admire the most in the whole wide world?
Who do I admire the most? Alive or dead?
It doesn't matter.
In my opinion, Jesus was the most admirable person on the planet ever. Obviously, he is God in flesh. But currently, you know, I really admire my wife. She's just so incredibly content with supporting me, and always has been. And you know, she goes through a lot with me being gone so much, and I don't really know too many women that could handle it the way that she does. So I'd have to say her.
Favorite childhood memory?
My sister Amy used to get giant like jugs of York peppermint patties. Have you ever had those?
No. Okay,
well, it's like this chocolate thing in America, and it's got like a minty inside to it. Anyways, I loved them. But after my mom went to bed, I would go downstairs and I would sneak into Amy's room, and we would just sit in her bed and eat like tons of those. And so I think that's probably my favorite childhood memory. Yeah.
Did you get sick?
No. But now, like these days, it's hard for me to eat more than one of them. You know.
All-time favorite album?
I think maybe my all-time favorite album, just because it changed me so much, probably "Bless the Martyr, Kiss the Child" by Norma Jean.
Okay, cool. If you could rule the world for one day, what would be first on your agenda?
If I could rule the world for one day, I would use a big portion of the government's money to buy massive farms where every dog that doesn't have a home, that's like in a shelter, could come out and get unlimited dog food and dog treats, and like hire a bunch of people just to like love the dogs.
Not bad. Yeah. And you did this ad for PETA too, right?
Yeah,
about
for animal adoption. Yeah.
Did you adopt your dog?
No, Maverick we got when we were really young, when Britt and I were just first married when we were 18. And back then I'd never had a pet growing up. My parents didn't allow me to have pets. And it was our first pet, obviously, as a married couple. So we got Maverick locally from somebody, but the next dog that we're going to get absolutely will be adopted for sure.
Cool. Could you name an historical event that you wish you would have experienced?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess just the existence of Jesus in human form. You know, I think that there's no greater moment in history. So that, I mean, just to see him in the flesh, I think absolutely, yeah.
Okay. When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up? Always want to be a musician?
I did. I always kind of knew I was going to end up doing music, but I really wanted to be a fighter pilot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know. My favorite movie growing up was Iron Eagle, which is this movie about this pilot that gets shot down overseas, and his son like learns how to fly jets and goes over and saves him, and it was just like really epic. So I always kind of wanted to be a fighter pilot, just because I thought that movie was so cool. And it's funny because my brother actually has his pilot's license now. He's a pilot, so he went that way, and I went towards music. But I'm happy here, you know.
Think you'll ever get your pilot license?
What's funny is that the older I get, the more terrified I get of flying.
I'm the same.
It's so weird. Yeah, it's like the more real that being 30,000 feet in the air becomes, the more I'm just like, you know, I prefer the ground, you know?
Exactly.
Shout out to Dave Shapiro, our booking agent. He's insane. He's a pilot, but he also does like base jumping and skydiving, like crazy stuff.
Oh my God.
I wish I had your balls.
Speaking of, have you ever done anything that was like way out of your comfort zone? Where you really had to challenge yourself?
Totally. Just writing Unconditional. That record was way out of my comfort zone.
In what way?
I didn't even want to admit to myself that I was, thinking about, having thoughts of suicide and feeling like I was losing my mind. And I was just like trying to, every day, moment by moment, like just trying to grasp reality however I could. So for me to put that on paper and show it to the world, it really put me in a vulnerable place. And, that's not an easy thing to do when you know that a lot of people look up to you and look to you for strength and so on and so forth. But I think it's a really good thing, not only for me to be able to tell people my story, but for our fan base to know that we're people just like them that have the same problems, that deal with the same things. And so, at the same time, it was worth it,
Yeah. What was the fans' response to it? Like the lyrics?
It's been incredible. I mean, it's endless amounts of letters and emails and Facebook comments from people that are just like, oh my gosh, just knowing that somebody else struggles with this helps so much. And that's one thing that I noticed when I was started, like anxiety therapy and stuff like that, just to know that other people were having the same thoughts that I was, and it made me realize that I wasn't going crazy. And so I knew that this album would do that for people who were struggling with anxiety and depression. And it has, absolutely, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So going back to the animal issue, I wanted to ask you, what are your thoughts on animal rights and veganism?
On animal rights and veganism?
Yes.
I'm all for animal rights, absolutely. I'm not a vegan. I'm not even a vegetarian. I eat meat and everything. My personal belief, and I hope it's known that I'm not trying to make everybody believe this or anything like that, but I think that there's certain animals on the earth that were put here to be eaten, like cows and things like that. It's just the way that they're treated, and just like the mass production and the hormones that they're injected with. It's all those things that makes it so wrong. So when we eat meat and everything, we always buy organic, and we always make sure that we know like what farm the meat came from and things like that. But I'm not like an animal rights activist that's gonna like throw blood on fur jackets or anything like that.
Not all animal rights activists do that.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, I did work with PETA 2 for the animal adoption awareness, but I'm not, I haven't done anything crazy for animal rights, I guess.
Okay. Going back to your childhood, what was your favorite subject at school?
Recess. No, probably history, only because my 7th grade history teacher changed my life. His name was Mr. Freeze, and he was like a war veteran and like really tough guy, tough-headed. And at first, I thought I was gonna hate him. I thought we were gonna butt heads, and he just had so many good things to say. And at the end of the day, he really cared about each and every one of us as students. And I came from a really rough neighborhood, I came from the ghetto. So for him to invest that much love into a classroom full of, just a bunch of ignorant children that were just, constantly rebelling and things like that, it was really respectable. And he actually loaned one of his old muscle cars for my wife and I to drive away in on our wedding day to us for that. I thought that was really cool of him. But I'll forever be thankful for Mr. Freeze.
But in general, you didn't really like it at school, or were you more like the creative kid that didn't fit in? Or?
Yeah, I didn't do very well in school at all. I've always just been good at the things that I want to apply myself to.
Yeah.
I think some people have a gift to just whatever they're told to do, they can do it really well. That's not me at all. Yeah. I wanted to do music. I wanted to skate. I wanted to fly airplanes. Those things I could invest my time into. But, I barely graduated from high school.
So if you could live anywhere else than the U.S., where would that be in the world?
Stockholm.
Oh, yeah. It's really cool. Why?
Other than Nashville, Stockholm is the best city on earth. It is so wonderful. I mean, we've played 2 shows there ever, but both times were just unbelievable. I mean, the people and the food and just the environment and everything there just feels so good to me. So Stockholm, I'm actually probably going to buy a vacation home there one day. I really want to, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not bad. Okay, last one. Who's your favorite superhero?
My dad.
That's cool.
For sure. He's the only real superhero I know of. I mean, my dad is, he's never had it easy when he was a kid or even now as an adult, you know, like he's always just, you know, had like his 9-to-5 job where he just works to support his family. But he's never once, ever in his life complained about that. He's always done everything he could just to provide us with the best life that we possibly could have. And I took that for granted when I was younger. And someday I hope to, you know, like pay my dad's house off and things like that just to show him, you know, how much it meant to me. But he enjoys working to give the kids everything they want. Yeah. And that's, I think that's the most heroic thing that a man in modern time could be.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm a total cat person. I really love cats. I'm all in favor of that as well. But I profoundly worship cats.
Okay.
And
That's an honest answer.